All right, let's keep going here. Now, there's another person at closing. It's the seller. What's the seller want in this deal? Money. They want their money. It's my money and I want it now. You guys never want to hear the words dry closing. Dry closing means the buyer or the lender hasn't funded the money, so there's no money in the account yet. Some title companies will go ahead and sign all the paperwork, but just keep and hold them until the money comes in. In some cases, you can sit and wait till and they call it funding. Oh, funding hadn't come through. Okay, we got to wait for the wire transfer. Could be 10 minutes, could be an hour, could be 4 hours, whatever. Hopefully it's in the next couple minutes. Will happen. I had one deal, and I know that somewhere somebody got fired over this. Normally I say it was probably a blonde, but I don't want to get in trouble by saying that. I was the listing agent for a bank, small bank here in Greenwood. I was also the selling agent. I was limited agent. My investor client bought it, $17,000 cash. Under the new laws, they have to wire the money in, all right? So we go to closing. The title company says, dry closing, haven't got the buyer's money. And the bank's representative said, I'm not leaving until I get my money. I was told I can't leave. The guy said, hey, it's no problem. You sit here. We'll wait for the bank to wire the money. Typically, it's 5 or 10 minutes. Would you like a Coke, popcorn, anything like that? She said, no, I'll sit here and just read my book. 2 hours later, guy comes in and goes, hey, man, there's still no money. And the investor goes, well, can I go do some stuff? I'll come back. So he left, and we're sitting there talking. About an hour and a half later, he comes up and goes, okay, what's going on? Title company says, still no money. And now the bank vice president is hot because we've been there 4 hours. She goes, I don't understand. The guy says, I don't understand either. The money's in your bank. She said, what? He goes, yeah, I use your bank. It's your bank. Oh, okay, hold on a second. So she calls over to where they were wiring the money from. Guess who they were trying to wire it to? Their own bank. The girl on the wiring desk never realized that she was dialing her own ACH number. Oh my God. It's always busy every time I call. You cannot wire money to your own bank. That's money laundering, or potentially. So they would not clear the ACH, which is the automatic clearinghouse. So we sat there 4 hours because the girl that was trying to wire the money from her bank to her bank never could get it accomplished. So literally the vice president goes, hey, dude, what's your account number? So-and-so, okay, check this account number. So money's there? Yeah, move it to our house account. And they just interbank transferred it. We're done. And we walked out. Yeah, they sat there 4 hours while this girl's like, I can't get it to wire. They won't ever pick up. Yeah, I'm sure somebody got a nice stern talking to when they got back, when the vice president got back. Yeah. And literally, that's what he said. I don't know what the holdup is. He goes, I use your bank. And she's like, what? He goes, yeah, my money is sitting in your bank. So they just moved it from, the title company's like, yeah, cool, move on. So that's the seller's biggest deal. The seller wants his money, and he gets it in the form of a check because they close as cash, all right? What is the real estate agent role at closing? What is your role at closing? Remember, you guys are representing me because I have named you to represent me. So you come in and say, I got a new client, it's your mother. I say, no, I've got a new client that's your mother, and I will allow you to work with her. Well, you've done all this, you might as well go to closing for me too. The rules say, remember, we have to be at closing under the Minimum Level of Services Act. Why? to answer questions in case your client has a question. We still have agency sitting at the closing table. When does agency terminate? Don't tell me I have to give you mouth to mouth, because you're going to be in trouble, dude. I'll be like, no, I'm good. Would you like some cough drops, sir? No, thank you, ma'am. I don't even remember. When does agency terminate, Dusty? When the diamond goes boop, which doesn't happen until the deed is delivered and accepted, which is at the end of the closing. So that means during the closing, we still have agency. So under the Minimum Level of Services Act, I have to be there, or my designated representative. That's why I send you one of you guys. All right? You worked with your mom this far out. I might as well let you take us across the finish line. You go to closing. Your role is to answer questions. If you have done your job correctly, you are useless at the closing table. All right? Because that means every form you've explained, you've always got the signature on every form, you've done everything correctly. So if you are useless at the closing table, the way to look at that is you did your job correctly. All right? Typically what ends up happening is you sit at the far end of the table across from the other agent. You're like, so how's it going? What have you been up to lately? Okay. Oh, we're done? Yeah, let's go. Yeah. The second job you guys are supposed to do is what? Bring me my money. Don't make me get my pimp hand out. You will get a check made out to the Modulin Group, or whomever. You will bring that check back to me. I will then put it in the bank and write you a portion of that commission based on whatever agreement that we have under the independent contractor agreement. You will not get a check directly. It will be made out to me because I'm the only one that can earn a commission. So it's made out to Real Estate Monkey LLC, doing business as the Modulin Group. You bring it back to me, you fill out the proper paperwork to get paid, I submit, put it in the bank, I then cut you a check. All right? So that's your biggest job, is to help our client. Also remember, technically then, when you walk out of closing, that's your client. Now, not a customer anymore. All right. Was that right? Okay, I was just testing you guys. It's not your customer anymore. It's technically now a client because agency terminated. This is also your last chance to schmooze. Hey, good job. Here's my business card. If you got a brother or sister, pass my name along. I'd be glad to help them. And there's nobody like your best buddy as that walk from the closing table to their car. That's the time of the year, best buddy. Oh, thanks. Because they're typically holding a check or they're holding the deed to a house. All right? And I've seen, I had my own client threatened to beat me up once. At the closing table, the walk from the closing table to his car, you'd have thought I was his best buddy because he made about $37,000, you know. But during the process, oh, you don't know what you're doing. If I could find you, I'd whip your ass. And, literally, I've had 2 clients like that in my career where I've actually thought I was going to have to fight my own client. There are some people that just like to do that. I'm one of them. No, I mean, they were one of them. But from that car, or from the closing table to the car, they're usually, oh, great job, you're so good, I like that. I'll call my brother.
The question on the test had to do with...
Supposed question on the test.
Well...
Because we're recording. We can't know the test question.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly, there's a question on the test.
We talked about it before. How if someone offers... Say, hey,
Throw me under the bus.
You told us.
Don't drag me down with this shit, man.
okay, give this example where somebody...
I've got a friend.
Okay, you don't get paid by the broker.
Right.
Okay, so
cannot take a bonus out in the parking lot
But
unless it's cash.
more specifically, it says you can only get paid by the broker. So what do we say back to them? Do we say, well, you have to see our managing broker, or we say,
Well, what do you mean? For who?
if she gets offered a bonus, is what she said. Right.
Oh, if you offer a bonus,
Right.
and hopefully, if they truly offer you a bonus, first of all, out in the parking lot, they can't do that. It's too late. They should have said at the closing table, hey, I'm going to write an extra check, $200, because you guys were good at what our client did to us. So what you do is you say, okay, just make that check out to the Modulin Group, and then you tell the title closing statement. It's going to say commission 7%, 3.5% Modulin Group. Now they're going to add a new line, bonus to the Modulin Group, $200. And that bonus will translate through, propagate through to the closing. So when we get paid, I get my 3.5% plus $200. All right, that's the way it happened.
So if they say something after the fact, kind of, what do you say?
Here's my business
You
card.
know what to say.
Bonus, you're good. Pass my name on.
That's what I would do is someone's already, you already closed and you're out in the parking lot and they say, hey, I want to give you a bonus. I want to write you a $100 check. Your magnanimous thing would be, you know what, go ahead, keep it. I already paid. I just love helping people. So what you can do is pass my name.
What do you do if you're out in the parking lot and it's like Aunt Sissy and she wants to give you $1,000? And
Is-
it's Aunt Sissy.
Is it cash?
Yeah.
Aunt Sissy, I'll see you at the house in 20 minutes.
Seriously. Because there's nothing like family.
You cannot take money out in the parking lot. Let me say this on a serious note. Be it cash or a check.
Aunt Sissy.
If you were getting a bonus, it should have been identified up front and put on the closing statement. All right? That's what we're saying for the record. Yeah.
That's what I just want to say, know what to say, really, what I should
That was
say.
a good question.
Really, what you would say is, at that point, you would say exactly what I said.
Yeah.
You know what? Thank you very much. I appreciate the gesture, but here's what I'd rather you do. You can even probably go one step further. I doubt you would ever get in trouble with this. Tell them, you know what? Make a donation to the Wounded Warriors in my name for that $100, or to the Katrina Fund, or to the Harvey Fund, or something. Technically, that's still money you're taking, but no judge in their right mind is ever going to ding you for donating to something like that. Or the other thing is, you know what? Just keep it. I got a good split with Raymond. I'll make the money up. If you really insist, then tell you what, just pass my name to 4 people. We'll call it even.
Buy some new towels for the new house.
Yeah. That's what I do. The lender has an interest. The lender has an interest in closing because remember what we said the lender's going to get. Lender's going to get the first lien position, right? So the lender's interest is he may want to see some of the same documents that the buyer sees. So the lender may get the lien releases. He may get the payoff of those outstanding judgments. He may get all the title documents. So the lender does have an, typically lenders don't show up because they're sitting in some other state. I have seen occasionally lenders show up, especially like on small, like this one was Heartland Bank, the one I did, where the lender actually showed up. All right? Mortgage brokers may show up, because that's also when mortgage brokers could get paid, and they want to schmooze with you as well. Not you, but the client as well. Not only did the realtor do a good job for the buyer, so did the lender, so we both want to say, hey, pass our name along. So I have seen mortgage brokers show up as well. All right? The IRS will show up.
Of course they will.
Yeah. Because the seller may have made a profit on the sale of their house. That's taxable, except if it's what? Right, unless it's less than 250 if you're single or 500 if married and you live there 2 out of the last 5 years. You still have to report the sale and said, I made $80,000. I just pay no taxes on it. The buyer is going to get some deductions, so he's going to fill out some forms and tax exemptions because he's going to get credit for mortgage insurance and things like that. So the IRS forms are both going to be there for both sellers and buyers. All right? So those are all the players in the closing, both the buyer and the seller and the respective agents and maybe a lender, okay?